isn't scary. Today we're talking about clouds. I have made this really cool cloud viewfinder. Okay, on my cloud viewfinder, I have 3 types of clouds. Scientists break the clouds down into 3 main types. We have cumulus clouds, which are the big puffy clouds, the ones that you might look at when you're out in the summer and you're laying on the grass and you're looking up at the sky and you're like, oh, there's a rabbit, there's a whale. You're looking at cumulus clouds. The second type are called cirrus clouds, and they're the ones that are way high up in the sky and they're made of ice and they're just wispy and feathery. The third type of cloud is a stratus cloud. Now these clouds cover the whole sky. It's like a big blanket of clouds. Now sometimes scientists put 2 names together, like for example, the thunderhead is a cumulonimbus. Can you say that, boys and girls? That's a tough one to say. And then fog, that's also a cloud, but that's when it's real close to the ground. Now, this is something that you could make at home. You could go to the internet and print out different types of clouds, use some contact paper, and to create yourself a hole. Now, the reason this hole is here is that we can take it to the window and we can hold it up to the window, look out to see what's happening that day, and then we can compare to see in our sky if we have cumulus, cirrus, or stratus. So if you look out our window today, all you see is a big blanket of clouds. So we know we have the stratus clouds. Now, stratus clouds often bring rain or snow, and so we know today here in Connersville we have had rain all day, so we have had these stratus clouds. Now, how do clouds form? Well, I've got a really cool experiment for you. This is something you can do at home. All you need are some ice cubes. You need some hot water. Woo, that's really hot. I boiled it a little bit ago. You need a plain jar and some hairspray. Now you need the kind of hairspray that's an aerosol, so it will go that way, so we'll do that, okay? So the first thing you're going to want to do is, I gotta be careful, this is really hot, is pour some hot water, and I'm gonna have to have, I really boiled it, boys and girls. Pour some hot water into a jar, only about a cup or so, and you're gonna wanna put the lid on it and swirl it around. Now what's happening is that hot water is warming up the sides of the jar. And in fact, you can start to even see some little water vapor droplets on the side of the jar because it's really, really hot. So we're going to make a cloud. Clouds are made when the water droplets evaporate up into the sky and they cling to each other, and then it all forms a pretty cloud, or possibly just a stratus cloud where it just covers the sky. So what we're going to do, now we've waited a few seconds, we're going to turn the lid over. Okay, now we're going to add the cold. So we're going to add our cold to the top. So now we're going to have the hot water with cold on the top. Okay, and when this happens, when hot meets cold, it's going to condense. It's going to form little water droplets or water vapor on the inside of here. Now, clouds only form when it has something to touch, when it has something to adhere to. So out in our atmosphere, we have dust particles, we have smoke, we have little ash from fires, we've got all kinds of stuff floating around in our air. We have pollen right now, there's lots of that. And as it's floating up into the sky, the water that has been condensing touches it and it adheres to it and it clings to it, and this one clings to this one and this one clings to this one, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you finally get a cloud. So in our example today, we are going to use hairspray as the particles for the things to adhere to. So what we're going to do is just quickly, we're going to take the lid off. We're going to put it back on. Now if we watch carefully, if I've sprayed enough in there, the water should start to form a little cloud. Now it's not going to look like a pretty big cumulus cloud, but it's going to start to get a little cloudier, almost foggy. And if I remove this lid, you'll have little wisps of cloud come off the top. I hope you can see it on the video. Let's see what happens. Do we get a cloud? Look! Isn't that cool, boys and girls? So we have made cloud. Okay, now on a bigger, grander scale, like when we're outside, all those would come together, and then you're going to get your pretty cumulus or your cirrus or your stratus clouds. Okay, so then how do clouds actually rain? This is another cool little experiment for you to do at home. You simply need a jar full of water, some of your dad's shaving cream, and some blue food coloring, okay? And so we're going to pretend for this experiment that this water is our air, is our atmosphere. And so we're going to shake this up really good, and we're going to put a nice pretty cumulus cloud on top of this water. If I can do it well, let's see. All right, so there we have a big, puffy, beautiful cumulus cloud. Now, remember I told you that the water vapor is going to cling to each other, and when it gets too heavy, it's going to fall out of the cloud. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our blue water, and these water droplets are going to start getting in the clouds, making the clouds bigger. Now, eventually, as I keep dropping it on here, it is going to float down through our atmosphere, and it's going to rain. Is it starting to do it yet? Nope, I guess I need some more. Here it comes. Okay. Keep dropping it on there, and eventually, here it comes. Here comes the rain, boys and girls. The cloud got so full of water vapor that it rains onto the earth. Pretty cool, huh? This is something that can be easily done in your kitchen. Just make sure you get permission to use the shaving cream and the food coloring before you do it. So look at the rain. That's a pretty heavy rainfall there. All right, boys and girls, today we've talked about clouds. Clouds are really fascinating the way they appear and are up in our sky. They're really heavy, but yet they float. Isn't that awesome? All right, boys and girls, science isn't scary, and I hope you've enjoyed this little demonstration on clouds. Join me again in 2 weeks for another cool science experiment. Bye now.